And then how long did you do in that for your sentence?
16 months, because amnesty came and he took me out, and I just made it by that 9 months, because they come, they say, if you have done a third of your sentence, they will give you amnesty. Yeah. So because it wasn't a violent crime and stuff like it, because it was for crimes like theft and, you know, all the other petty crimes and stuff like it. So they give you. But murder and rape and all those things, no. They didn't give amnesty for them. So I just made it. So I was sentenced on the 17th of May 2002. Yeah, my parole ended 2006. Yeah. So, but I went out of prison in September 17th, 2003.
Did you continue with crime after that?
Of course, because what else did I know then? Because I'm a criminal now, and more so now I have a criminal record. So I have to continue. So I'm continuing. That was 2003 I came out of prison. I'm continuing 2004. But before that, and now 2003 I came out now. It's a whole different era now. Drugs came onto the scene, the designer drugs. I was introduced to cat. Remember, I only knew Zol and ecstasy. So coming out now out of prison now, there's this thing. Hey, sniff the lines now. It's cat. I remember I came out of prison. I went to a 21st. There's friends of mine, they come. I was drunk. I was very drunk. Hey, he say, no, man, you can't be so drunk, man. Come here. Here behind the bar. Here's a plate. They say, snort us. Yo. I say, shh, shh. Yo, bro. Yo. Totally different experience. I'm sober after the 2 lines I took. And that, because I was a feeling junkie, that captured me. I won't lie to you. From that day, I didn't stop using drugs up until 2018. At that time, already I had a son. 2000, I met my children's mom, my daughter's mother. So I went into a relationship with her. She fell pregnant. When I got sentenced 2002, she was 6 months pregnant. So I never saw the birth of my elder daughter. So went into prison. Only saw her when she was 6 months while I was in prison. But yeah, so came out of prison 2003. So I'm still with this girl. And then she moved in there by me. We stayed together. Now I started using drugs. Bro, now my life become messed up. But I'm still going to rounds. I'm still doing this, you know. But things don't balance anymore like it used to because of this habit. And moreover, also I'm thinking, I can't also go back to prison all the time. My children's going to grow up not knowing their father, you know. So I withdraw from going to rounds, stealing cars and stuff like that. So now I started selling drugs. I inherited, or I've now came to know this habit. So now I'm entertaining this habit, and I'm now starting to sell this drug because to maintain my habit, so that I don't have to go and buy from somebody else. I sell and I use my own product. You see, but it was never to my benefit because I didn't make real money. It was like, but stuff happened for me, you know, because drugs open up channels for you that you don't even know, and you get things that you are, because the druggies, they come with a whole lot of things. But that was my life, you know, going into it. But it just went bad, man. It just went from, because now after Cat, I remember then I started doing crystal meth, and I was sniffing it. And at that time, people were scared to snuff crystal meth. They used to smoke it in the before they had lolly pipes, they used to smoke it out of a globe, a big globe. You know the globes that they, yeah, you smoke it out of that. Until a later stage, now they became clever. Then now they blew the lolly pipes with the Pyrex. You know what? I never thought my life would change so drastically when I started coming onto the drug scene, bro. Because drugs now become your life. It now changes from, it takes away morals, it takes away principle, it takes away who you really are. Drugs strip you. Drugs strip you of a lot of things. It strips you of your dignity. It strips you of your identity, my man. It takes away what God has created you to be. It really rips that apart, and it just, you know what? Drugs, another thing that drugs does, it makes you think you're clever. It makes you think that you can do certain things that other people go to school for. Like with me, I was a technician. I called myself a technician because but I was good at it. I used to fix phones. So when you come into my house, you'll find there's a whole lot of computers, laptops, screens, and all these things. And yeah, and I'm always busy working at something. If it's not a phone, it's a laptop, it's a computer, stuff like that. I'm hoarding. The place is full of wires. There's a whole lot of wires, but any kind of like chargers and laptop chargers and phone chargers, those things are used to come to me for that. That VGA cables, the HDMI cables, those things I used to have it all in abundance. Yeah, but I could fix a laptop, I could fix a computer, I could fix phones, I could unblock phones, stuff like that. So it took me, but yeah, and stuff I never thought I would do, man, because I never pictured myself being a technician. But I became that because people used to know me for, when you want something, go to, they used to call me Bo, go to Bo. There by Bo, you'll find anything. Gadgets, phones, cameras, laptops, computers, whatever, you'll find it there by Bo. Go there to him, he must have. If you don't have a charger, a plug, a DA, whatever the case may be that you need, you will find it there. Printers, I know all those things.
So it's like a pawn shop.
It's like a pawn, yeah. Like you can come there to my place, you'll find. And there by me, it was like the halfway house. I was always the middleman. I remember when I was always the middleman. If you want to be connected to something, this is where you come to me, it's there to Bo's house.
And then how did it all stop?
Hey, bro. Remember, I was in a life before of gangsterism, man. I didn't tell you that. This guy that shot my friends, I was a witness in his case. But at the time when he was arrested, I was also in prison. So because it happened in Hillfox, so he was in Krugersdorp prison. I was in Sun City in 99. So when he got high court papers, because it's 3 murders that same night that he was arrested for, he got high court papers. And he came to Sun City because all the people for high court stay in Sun City. So then he came to Sun City, then I was still there. And then when he got there, because I was staying in a single cells. When he came to Sun City, he also came to the single cells because they were scared of him being killed or they will fight with him in the sections because of who he killed. You see? Because the people he killed, that's friends of mine, the prison is full of their people, and people are already waiting for him. So they sent him to single cells. Got there, he found me there. Me, same time, meantime, I decided, I'm going down to the section. I'm going to go stay down, because I didn't want to have interaction with him. My case finished, I went out. He was still attending high court. Came home. I went to go visit now because I never went to the funerals. Remember, I never went to the funerals. So I went to the houses of my friends that was shot. So I was speak to the people at home. No, they explain to me now the case and who's the witnesses and what. And they asked me, were you there that night? I said, yes, I was there. What happened that night? I explained them the story like it happened yesterday. They say, how? Where were you then? I said, no, I was in prison. So I couldn't must be called up as a witness. And then they said to me, no, they called the investigating officer of the case, one of the family members of my friends. So then I went to in fact, he came to my house. Wanted to know what happened. So I gave statement. So I explained them. He said, where were you all the time? I said, no, I was in prison also. I thought, this is okay. He said, this is the first statement that makes sense. The other people were they speak like contradicting each other, you know. That man was going to toll that case.
The case hasn't been concluded.
Yeah, it's not been concluded. So there's new witness coming on. They took me to the Attorney General. Yeah. Went to the Attorney General. I remember his name, Peter van Skalkwyk. Peter van? Yeah. Yeah, but he was the senior, he was the Attorney General, the senior Attorney General in the High Court, there in Pritchard Street. His office was there right on top. So I went to the High Court, I went there. He said to me, tell me what happened. I give him my story. He says, where have you been? This is open and shut with this testimony. That guy is going to prison. There's no two ways about it.
Wasn't this putting your life at risk now?
Yes, definitely. My life had been on risk up until the day that guy died. And that was last year. So, gave him went to court, gave my testimony. My testimony is put him away, double life and 27 years. So this guy had it in for me, as you can imagine. You know, he tried sending people to me to kill me many times, few times, you know. In between the years from 2004 till 2007. 2007, I actually stopped selling drugs and I went to go work. Believe it or not.
For the first time?
Yeah. I got a job. No, not 2007, 2005. Because I remember it was the year my father died. My father died 2005. I was employed by an IT company called TSS. So I had still busy using drugs. But go to work on site, you know, learn new things, you know, in the corporate world and stuff like that. That's where I got my knowledge from, computers and stuff like that. So yeah, hardware, software, all these things. So I know IT, a bit of IT. So 2005, but I'm still busy using drugs. 2006, I was at home again. 2007, got another job. Nedbank Center, 105 West Street. I'm telling you.
With a criminal record?
With a criminal record. I got a nice job. So I was working in the finance department and I was a billing administrator for Nedbank 105 West from 2007 till 2008. 2009, at the beginning of 2009, I left. But I left the job because I had issues with my baby mama and what. They even sent me for counseling, those people. Because there was a time they could see the in my work, it was dropping, there was a change in my... So they asked me what's happening and then I explained to them and then they sent me for 6 weeks counseling and they paid for it in Nedbank. So I have experience of working in the corporate world as well. But after that, 2009, when I started now. I said, now I'm going to leave now this work. And then I started selling drugs now.
Again?
2009, 2010, 2011. Yeah, drugs now. But now as I'm selling drugs, I'm consuming more. Because it's all over me. So I'm selling and I'm consuming. That side, sometimes I go out to rounds to go steal a car once or twice. So I've been busy with all these kind of things, you know. This side, I'm a middleman with car deals with other people's. This side, people want guns. I organize them guns. I was the middleman. Whatever you need, you came to my house. I had a lolly lounge as well. A lolly lounge is whereby all the drug addicts, where they come and bloom, they chill, and then they smoke. Because there by me, you come, you buy by me, you sit, you chill. So you get there finished. So all your money, you're going to spend it there by me. And I'm going to smoke with you. Yeah, it's like a tavern for druggies. So you can imagine what kind of people used to come to my house. I used to, characters and characters of people used to come in and out of my life. And like I say, drugs takes away a lot of morals and values of you. Because now that boundaries that you used to have, now drugs takes all of that away. Because now you're accessible. So you have a lolly lounge, but you yourself become a lolly lounge because you don't have a boundary. People can just walk into your life, in and out of your life, and does whatever they want to. Because you must remember, everybody that comes into your house is different characters, man. They come to buy drugs and sit and chill, and then they are thieves, they are murderers, they are whatever. All kinds of, and I accommodate everybody there.
Are your kids there with you?
No. And that's how I lost contact with my kids. Because this life, I never wanted my daughters to grow up and see me doing this life. So I didn't reject them, but I didn't want to engage with them. So I used to avoid them always. And that brought a big rift in our relationship, which is affecting me even up until today. There was never that time, the most important time of their lives, I was never there. Because I was too young and I was too busy with my own stuff. Loving that messed up life. I was and that was for 22 years. When you count, it's even more than 22 years. Because you don't even count. When I count 22, I count the years when I started off sniffing up until the last, when I started smoking even lolly, even up until Mendrix at the end. My life just went like this. Nothing went. My house, cops used to raid my house. They used to come, they break my house. My mother left us a house for me and my brother. That house, it was even one of the houses, it was known in El Dorado Park that this is the hotspot house. There was petition signed for me to lose my house and stuff like that because there was just havoc. In my street, the people signed a petition to say that this boy, he carries on in the sea because if it isn't stolen cars, it's druggies. If it's not druggies, it's gangsters coming here. And you know what? That was the halfway house of all the bad things. I used to tell myself I was a magnet for nonsense.
What did your family say?
Because at the time, my sister, I have an elder sister. My sister used to always fight with me. Because now my mother and father died, it's not only me and my brother. My elder brother was shot dead in 2010. So it was only me, and that time I was just doing my own thing, man. When my sister come in, when I talk, and I would tell her, listen, as long as you don't buy bread for this house, or as long as I don't come and I bother you every day or every week and I ask you to buy for me this and that, please don't come and involve yourself in my life. This is my life. But it just progressed and became worse, and I even stopped selling drugs now. I'm just a consumer now. It reached a point whereby, because they know my house is a house of where all the druggies get together, and my other friends that is still stealing cars, they still came to my house. They still came to my house, and every now and then they would boost me. They would give me some doulas to sell, So there's always a plan that I have for myself, you understand? But it's not a sustainable plan. It is hand-to-mouth plan and just for that time plan. And then it's finished. And one thing I always used to have is I always used to have women around me. I used to stay with a lot of children, young girls, there by my house. And that's what attracted the other clevers to my house. Because it was nice studies that used to stay there by me. The runaways, those that don't want to be at home, they used to come and stay there by me. They used to call me the toppy. Toppy, that you floppy. They used to call me the toppy. So I had these girls always around me, and I looked after them, and then, and then my friends, it was car thieves, and these other ones, it was robbers. They used to come to my house always. Sometimes they used to come just to come fetch a girl or two girls, and then they move, and then they offer me something. Say, "Hey, man, so here's something for you. Can we go with these children?" I said, no, because it wasn't never a forced thing. I asked them first, "Do you want to go?" And I explained to them also, "This is my friends. I will never send you with people that I don't know, but they will look after you." And for sure, when they go, these guys buy clothes for them and what, but it's their business. When they come back, they just want to go back again, you see. So it was like a transaction, and I was like the pump, Like you come to me, you want the OC, because I had them a lot, they're staying with me. So that was my life. And then, people would always come and encourage me to say that, "Nah, man, you can't carry on like this." But you know what? I was stubborn in my addiction. I didn't want to be told, I was really just, hey, this is my life, don't come in. There's one day, and this was the game changer in my life. This was the time when I decided, now, because now I've been through all avenues. I've done everything that I could. My life is now, I look myself in the mirror and I see, boss, now you lost yourself. The person that you see in the mirror now, it's no more you. Something else in the mirror. And I remember 3 months before I went into recovery, I remember I had this one friend of mine, Patrick. Was also one of my friends that used to come to my house. We used to do things together. We used to steal together. We used to sell drugs together. We used to do things, And then he changed his life. He got out of the game as well. And then another friend of mine, and he's now my pastor, he's a friend. And we are now also part of the same organization, myself and him and Patrick.
Which organization is this?
It's from Gangs to Grace, and I will share about it now. And he would come to me and he said, encourage me, man. Stop now. You can now stop with this life. And I remember there was a time I told him, "Yeah, man, I'm also tired now. 2018, I want to stop with this life." What? My sister came there, then she was now fed up with me. She came there crying, and she said she's going to burn the house down if I don't change my life, And at that time, I'm saying to her, "Nah, man, what's wrong with you? You can't gonna come here and come and dictate my life." But I am in the process, in my mind, of thinking of changing my life. Don't stress. Give me this week. Next week, I will book myself in. I have these girls that stay with me. Let me just sort them out. Let them just, She says, "I'm giving you this week." She wanted to go buy petrol to come and throw in my house, to burn the house. And then I said, I'm speaking, and then the lady opposite, auntie opposite them in my house, she came, we prayed, and then they left. And that whole week, man, I was convicted, I was convicted, but I just continue with my normal daily routine, waking up in the morning, making a plan to smoke, eat, and whatever else not. So the week went on. Saturday come. I remember this other friends of mine, they went to Durban, they went to go and spin in Durban. Came back, they had some perfumes, they had money, they had what. They wanted me to go with, I said, "No, I don't do robbery. Never been a robber, I was always a thief. Don't know what is it, my friends were robbers, I was never a robber."
What's the difference?
Difference is the one who walks around with a gun, traumatizing people to take the stuff from them. I never did that. I stole your car. I take your car while you're in there. I steal your car. Sometimes people used to run after their cars while I was driving away with their cars. But that's what pushed my adrenaline levels for me. But taking out the gun, traumatizing people to take their stuff, I've never done that in my life. Until the point now. Remember I said to you, I sent this guy to prison. And this guy had it in for me, And up until, even to the point whereby now he started sending people to my house. Yeah. To come and shoot me. But like I say to you, the grace of God over my life. Because if I know it now, I know now that it was grace. Because then I thought, nah, maybe I'm just lucky. Maybe, but. And how I got out of this life of drugs and everything else. That man that I sent to prison, he knew to say that, yeah, there by that man's house, I can send someone to go and kill. You see? And I remember November 2018, a car pulled up by my yard. I'm standing outside. So I had these friends, they went to Durban and they came back. They came back the Friday. They came back the Friday night. They came back, all right. They left with two girls that were staying there by my house. So they brought them home. And then they came, they minaka wena da, they gave me some perfume. Okay. The next day, the Saturday, so we had a small bride Nyana there by my house. And I had a friend, a cop friend, that was close with me. I used to be with him every day. He was even staying at the point there by my house when things wasn't good in his marriage. Then he was staying there by my house. Yeah, a cop. Yeah. So that night, this car, so I'm standing outside and talking to this lady that came to pray the Monday with my sister. She came across, she's standing talking to me there outside of my yard. And then I'm talking to these two girls that came back from Durban. With them two and that lady. And so we're standing and then the car pulled up in front of my yard. And it's a red Golf 3, GTI 3. And there's a driver. And there's no one passenger. And there's someone at the back, behind the driver's seat. But he's sitting so deep, with his hands like this, in his pockets, like he had on a leather jacket. Inside of his right-hand pocket, he had a gun. I saw that when I went to, because he called me to the car.
Who's calling you now?
The guy that, he came actually to shoot me.
The guy is sitting at the back?
At the back, yeah. He's calling me on my name, Ralston. Calls me because he knows me. And the guy I sent to prison, he was sent by this guy, So when I went to the car, I'm thinking, now the same time I went to the car, this cop friend of mine, someone came out of the gate. So I think that saved me that night. Because had he not come out, you would have thought, no, this one is alone here outside. But I'm standing here with this lady outside. But they didn't see him, But like he called me, I went to the car, the window was rolled down. So like I got to the car, and now he was looking past me to see that who is here. But now the cop came out of the yard and then he saw the cop. And he was like, came up and then the cop saw him also. My browser, yeah, Don't want to mention his name, just now he comes for me again. And he got out of the car. He got out of the car, and I remember he took his hand out of his pocket, and then I saw the gun, and then he got out of the car with the gun in his hand. The lady that I was standing and talking was in June, July. She was like, she had a huge fright, like her eyes were so big, and like she could see that, what's happening here now? And I tell him, and you know what, at that time, I just don't know what came over, but I wasn't scared or anything, but I exactly knew why he was there. But I said to him, "Nah, man, put away the gun, man. There's a big lady here, And then he puts the gun back here at the back, pulls it over. And then now he greets the cop. Greets the cop friend of mine, and I'm standing there and I'm like, this is not a guy that comes to my house. This is not somebody that comes to me. And he's like, I just came to say hi, I'm going again. And got back into the car and left. Without saying anything. And like he drives off, this cop friend of mine is saying to me, bro, you were supposed to be shot tonight. And I said, I know that. And that's when, you know what, I saw my life in an instant flashing so in front of me. And it was like God was tapping me at the back and saying, Baba, how do you want this to end for you? You know, how do you want this to end? Immediately I phoned that friend of mine, Patrick. I said, bro, I'm ready now. I want to go away. I want to go away. I can't anymore. And that's when, because now I was standing and I'm thinking, at this point in my life, my daughters don't have a relationship with me. If I die, what are they going to say about me at my funeral? Or are they even going to come to my funeral at this point? Because we are so drifted apart. What are they going to say, you know? And I'm thinking about the legacy that I'm going to leave behind is not even one that you can recognize, because you're going to die today, tomorrow, your funeral. They're going to remember you only for that week of your death. And then afterwards, you will be a distant thought, a memory, because how you carried yourself. And then I said, nope. Monday, my brother, I'm leaving. I was actually supposed to leave the Friday already, but because those guys came back from Durban, I said, nah. Because when they came back, I said to them, hey, I'm going to rehab. They said, no, man, wait for me to come back. Wait for us to come back. I want to give you something. Still not waiting for nothing. They only gave me perfumes and stuff. I said, After that, I said, no, it's fine. The next day, then that happened. Then God just pat me on my back to say that, hey, Papa, now it's time for you to go. And that's how I changed my life. And that's on the Monday of the year I went.